Cowboys fans have always been among the most passionate and loyal in the NFL, and as the 2025 season builds momentum, there's one name that is quickly capturing the heart of the fanbase and stirring up a level of optimism that has been long overdue: Brian Schottenheimer. It's more than just play calling or schemes, it's the culture he's creating, the mentality he's instilling, and the accountability he's demanding that has everyone from players to coaches and, yes, fans, buzzing with excitement. The hype surrounding Brian Schottenheimer is real, and it's something Cowboys Nation should absolutely embrace. If you've been paying close attention, this isn't just a fluke or some preseason sugar rush. This is a movement grounded in real change, and it might be exactly what Dallas needs to finally get over the hump. From the moment Schottenheimer took over full-time offensive coordinator duties, he made one thing clear: discipline, efficiency, and player empowerment would be at the core of his approach. It wasn't about reinventing the wheel, it was about unlocking the potential that has always existed in this roster. Dak Prescott, for example, has looked more confident and in command than he has in years, and much of that comes from the trust Schottenheimer has placed in him. He's worked tirelessly to develop a system that complements Dak's strengths while minimizing his liabilities. But it's not just about the quarterback. You look at the entire offensive unit: running backs, wideouts, tight ends, and even the offensive line, and you start to see a consistency in how they communicate, how they line up, and how they execute. That doesn't happen without culture, and Schottenheimer has brought a much-needed identity to a Cowboys offense that has long struggled to find one when the pressure ramps up. But culture goes beyond X's and O's. It's about the tone set in meeting rooms, the accountability on the practice field, and the mindset taken into each rep. According to multiple insiders and beat reporters covering the team daily, players have responded overwhelmingly positively to Schottenheimer's presence. There's a blend of old-school toughness with new-age adaptability that makes him incredibly relatable. He doesn't coddle players, but he also doesn't treat them like replaceable parts. It's a balanced leadership style that's turning heads. Several Cowboys veterans, including Brandon Cooks and Zach Martin, have openly praised the way Schottenheimer leads: focused, demanding, but never disrespectful. That respect breeds effort, and effort becomes contagious, especially in a locker room loaded with talent that just needs direction and belief. Even Micah Parsons, the defensive phenom, has taken notice. He recently mentioned in an interview that the offense has been sharper, faster, and more physical in practice under Schottenheimer's guidance. That's not just smoke. When a defensive leader of Micah's caliber is seeing and feeling a difference, you better believe it's legit. That cross-unit recognition is a sign of a cohesive team, not one divided between offense and defense, which has often been a silent issue for Dallas in past years. That unity is one of Schottenheimer's biggest cultural wins. He hasn't just gained the trust of the offensive room, he's earning the respect of the entire team. Now, let's talk about the playbook. While Schottenheimer has never been known as the flashiest offensive coordinator in the league, he's got a deep understanding of situational football, and that has been a massive upgrade for Dallas. One of the biggest criticisms of the Cowboys' offense in recent years, especially under Kellen Moore, was a lack of flexibility in critical moments. Too often the team would stall in the red zone or become predictable on third downs. But Schottenheimer has clearly made adjustments to improve in those key areas. Early reports out of OTAs and minicamps show an offense that is more willing to experiment with motion, tempo, and personnel groupings. He's introducing elements that keep defenses guessing without overcomplicating things for the players. That's a sign of a coordinator who knows how to evolve with the times but still sticks to his foundational principles. And what about the young guys? This might be the most underrated part of the Schottenheimer effect: player development. Rookie wideouts, backup linemen, and even undrafted free agents are all getting real reps and real coaching. There's a genuine sense that every player matters, that every player has a role. For years, Dallas fans have watched young talent either get misused or rot on the bench. But under Schottenheimer, there's a much clearer pipeline from the practice field to game day contribution. That builds depth, and depth is what separates playoff teams from championship contenders. One name to watch is Jalen Tolbert, who many thought might fade into irrelevance after an underwhelming rookie season. But Schottenheimer has brought him back into the fold with intentional design and renewed confidence. The same goes for tight ends like Jake Ferguson and Luke Schoonmaker, who are being utilized in more creative and aggressive ways, especially in red zone packages. This is an OC who sees the whole board, not just the top pieces. Cowboys fans should also pay attention to how Schottenheimer communicates with the media. Unlike some coordinators who speak in vague cliches or duck accountability, Schottenheimer has been direct, transparent, and surprisingly detailed in his answers. That might seem minor, but it reflects a larger truth. He knows what he's doing, and he's not afraid to take ownership of it. That kind of confidence, backed by preparation, spreads throughout a locker room. The players aren't just executing his vision because they're told to, they believe in it because they know it's built on logic and results. Fans should take comfort in that. For too long, Cowboys Nation has been sold on vibes and potential. Schottenheimer represents something more concrete: leadership built on merit. Let's not forget the historical weight that comes with his last name. Brian Schottenheimer is the son of legendary NFL coach Marty Schottenheimer, a man known for instilling discipline and toughness in every team he coached. That pedigree matters. Brian grew up around locker rooms, practice fields, and the grind of NFL preparation. He didn't just learn football from textbooks, he lived it. And now, with decades of experience under his own belt, he's channeling that legacy into his work with Dallas. It's the perfect blend of tradition and innovation, and fans are right to be hyped about it. There's a seriousness in his approach that mirrors his father's, but with the added bonus of modern sensibility and adaptability. Another thing Cowboys fans should love? Schottenheimer's chemistry with Mike McCarthy. The two have a mutual respect that's evident in how they delegate and collaborate. McCarthy has openly said he trusts Schottenheimer to handle the offensive operations, allowing him to focus more on overarching team management. That's a huge deal. In previous years, the offense felt like it was being micromanaged or pulled in different directions. Now there's clarity. There's alignment. That kind of internal synergy trickles down to the players, creating a smoother operation and a more focused team. It's a big reason why the Cowboys have looked so locked in during off-season work, and why expectations are climbing among those inside the building. Even the national media, often skeptical or overly critical of the Cowboys, is starting to take notice. Analysts from NFL Network, ESPN, and The Athletic have all pointed to Schottenheimer as one of the most important figures in Dallas' pursuit of a Super Bowl this season. That kind of attention usually goes to star players, but the fact that a coordinator is drawing that level of respect shows just how much impact he's already having. He's not just a behind-the-scenes figure, he's a culture setter, a tone setter, and potentially the key to unlocking this roster's full potential. And for those who are still unsure, let's look at results. The Cowboys' offense finished in the top 5 in scoring last year, but many of those numbers came from beating up on lesser opponents. This year, Schottenheimer has made it a priority to focus on situational dominance, red zone efficiency, third down conversions, and 2-minute drills. These are the moments that decide playoff games, and they've been Dallas' Achilles' heel for far too long. Already, reports show marked improvement in those areas during practice sessions. The team is more aggressive, more decisive, and better at executing under pressure. That's not a coincidence. That's culture meeting preparation. That's coaching at work. Fans should also be excited about how Schottenheimer is integrating the running game. With Tony Pollard gone, many feared a dip in rushing production, but Schottenheimer has shown a clear plan to use a committee approach with players like Rico Dowdle, Deuce Vaughn, and rookie phenom Travion Henderson. And it's working. Rather than relying on one back to carry the load, Schottenheimer is mixing formations, utilizing motion, and keeping defenses off balance. It's not about big names, it's about effective execution, and the Cowboys are delivering in that department. That balanced attack is going to pay huge dividends in keeping defenses honest and controlling the tempo of games. Look, Cowboys fans have every reason to be cautiously optimistic after years of heartbreak and playoff letdowns. But this is different. The foundation being laid by Schottenheimer is tangible, visible, and effective. It's not just about one good season, it's about sustainable success, built on a culture of accountability, detail, and toughness. This is what winning teams are made of. You can feel the difference in how the players talk, how they practice, and how they carry themselves. That's culture. That's leadership. And that's why the hype around Brian Schottenheimer isn't just justified, it's necessary. If you're a Cowboys fan wondering whether this team is finally ready to take that next step, the answer starts with Brian Schottenheimer. He's not just calling plays. He's changing mindsets. He's bringing a level of professionalism and purpose that this team has desperately needed. So yes, embrace the hype. Celebrate the culture shift. Because for the first time in a long time, it feels like the Cowboys are building something that can last, and Brian Schottenheimer is right at the center of it. Thanks for tuning in, Cowboys Nation. If you enjoyed this breakdown, and you're as excited as we are about what Schottenheimer is bringing to the table, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more in-depth Cowboys content, and let us know in the comments how you feel about the cultural shift under Schottenheimer. Until next time, keep believing, stay loud, and go Cowboys!